Hey everyone, hope everyone's doing well. Last week I talked a little bit about the ACE score, adverse childhood experiences, and part of what I said was that the things that we experience in our childhood, no matter how bad they are, do not have to determine the rest of our story, don't have to write the entire story for us or determine our journey. And at the Dam, the way that we try to interfere in that and change that story or help youth change that story, because they're the resilient ones, is through relationship. Relationship and community, those are the two words that probably form our main mantra at the Dam, community and relationship. And there's lots of evidence out there to suggest that children, even the ones who face the worst kind of persistent abuse, the ones who are able to form attached, loving, caring relationships in their adulthood are the ones who had another adult in their life who they were able to develop a caring, attached relationship with, even when that trauma was going on. And so we try to interfere that way by building those relationships. Going to tell you a little story of a young man, one of the first young men that I ever mentored when I worked at the Dam, and used to pick him up for like coffee or lunch or whatever. And the first time I dropped him off at home, and at the end of our time together, I was just like, hey man, I want to let you know that I love you. And he looked at me the way that some people do when they first hear me say I love you, and like with that really weird look, like what the heck are you talking about? And he left, and I kind of thought, well, maybe I blew that. But he showed up the next week, and he showed up the week after that, and the week after that, and I kept being like, yo man, I just want to let you know I love you. And eventually his response to it changed. It went from kind of a weird thing to him saying, I love you too, man. And it got to the point where I actually couldn't say it first, and he'd be like, Ken, I want to let you know I love you. And I would respond with, I love you too, man. And that's really sweet. But you know, we don't know everybody's stories when we first get to know them. That kind of happens later. It was later that I found out that he had, his dad passed away when he was a little guy. He didn't have great relationship with his stepdad. Been a long, long time since he had any man in his life tell him that he loved him. Of course it's going to be weird. I found out later that he didn't remember the last time that he had heard his mom say, I love you, which is a little bit more uncommon among our youth. And so here's a young man who didn't remember the last time any adult in his life had said, I love you. It's going to take some time for him to believe that something like that can be true. It takes consistency. It takes effort. It takes time together. It takes time for those relationships to build. Got to a place where this man was able to say, I feel like there had been this hole in my life for a long time, and that hole got filled. And those are the moments that warm your heart. It goes from being heartbreaking to heartwarming. And you begin to see that it is possible for someone who had had so much broken relationship and so much hurt and pain in their life to be able to grab onto something new, and that a new future is possible for them, and it's possible for them to write a new story. I hope you have an amazing week.